Absolutely. Well, first, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the official first Made by Majors Creator Academy webinar. And before we begin, I just want to thank you all for being here, whether you're a creator, an artist, an entrepreneur, a business owner, or someone just ready to build something bigger, your presence matters. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jess Pappas. I'm the managing partner and chief growth officer at Majors Management Group. And for 20 years, I've been working with global brands from Nike to working with Steph Curry, building those brands for them. I also work with entrepreneurs as a coach and obviously as a chief growth officer at Majors Management Group. And my goal is to always bring campaign ideas to life, bringing meaningful connections through strategy and storytelling. I'm excited to moderate this for you and introduce tonight's session and connect with all of you. And if you're comfortable, I see a bunch of videos on. We want to create an engaging space for everyone. We want to connect the community and create an environment that reflects Majors Management Group. So we want this to be beyond a webinar. And this marks the official launch of something that we're very proud of at Majors Management Group. MMG is built on the core belief that culture moves through people. Brands, both your brand and companies, stay relevant, not just through campaigns, by understanding culture, partnering with the right voices, and telling authentic, impactful stories. At MMG, we operate at the intersection of brand storytelling, creative partnerships, talent development, and cultural strategy. Our goal is to help brands connect with audiences authentically, strategically, and with results by leveraging the right talent through meaningful campaigns and creating moments that resonate. But MMG isn't just about connecting brands with talent. It's about developing the talent. This is the creator, the entrepreneur, the business owners, you. And today, talent is more than a following. It's influence, it's story, it's community, it's brands. And that's why we created Made by Majors. Made by Majors, our development platform for creators, artists, entrepreneurs, and personal brands ready to grow with clarity and confidence. Its purpose is simple: to give talented individuals access to the tools, the insights, the conversations they need to build something stronger, secure better opportunities, navigate this creator economy with intention. Many creators are building online without a clear roadmap. They're posting, pitching, trying to understand their value, pricing, how to turn visibility into opportunity. And Made by Majors exists to close that gap. This platform focuses on education, access, development, helping people not just create, but build through our network to position themselves, pitch confidently, define their value, create brands that last beyond the trends. This is more than a webinar series. It's a community of like-minded and driven individuals committed to growth. It's us here today. Each month, we're going to host a bunch of sessions with expert speakers, industry leaders, creators who bring real knowledge and experience within our network. These sessions are practical and honest. We're here to provide strategy and not surface level inspiration. We're covering branding, partnerships, pitching, content strategy, media kits, negotiation, storytelling, entrepreneurship, how to build your brand. We're here to help creators and entrepreneurs think bigger, moving from just posting to positioning, from hoping they'll be noticed to building something worth noticing, from waiting for opportunities to creating them. Your content isn't just content. Your platform isn't just a page. Your audience isn't just a number. With intention, it becomes an ecosystem, a brand, a business, a platform for opportunity. And that's the heart of Made by Majors. Tonight's session sets the foundation for everything Made by Majors stands for. And there's no better person to lead it than Marcus Majors. Marcus, as most of you might know, is the CEO and founder of Majors Management Group and Afrolumbia. Coming from an inspirational music and talent manager background, he's a serial entrepreneur, a master brand builder, and a true cultural connector. His career is built on understanding people, culture, how to turn that opportunity into real business. He's worked with artists, creators, and owners to shape their brands, build long-term growth, bringing both that creative and business insight. Through MMG, he's built a platform for creator campaigns, brand partnerships, strategic storytelling rooted in that cultural connection. Through Afrolumbia, he's created a community-driven platform focused on connection, representation, impact, extending his work beyond business into access and meaningful change. What sets Marcus apart is that he hasn't just managed talent, he understands what it means to be the talent. He knows the pressure, the responsibility, the discipline required to build something credible and lasting. He's seen both sides, what brands want, what creators need, and how to build partnerships that truly work. Tonight, he'll walk us through one of the most important topics for any creator and entrepreneur, building your brand, securing those partnerships, and seizing opportunities. Because opportunity doesn't start when a brand, a client reaches out. It starts with how you position yourself, your brand, and your business. How clearly you communicate who you are, what you stand for, who you serve, and why your voice matters. Before we transition, just a quick note on how we're going to run it. We'll have time at the end for Q&A, but if there's anything that's pressing or any immediate question, we want people to engage. So right at the bottom, you'll see the reactions. Just lift your hand up. Marcus will see it, and I'll call on you if it's something relevant and in the moment. Thank you again for being part of the session. We're excited to grow this platform for you and continue to create these spaces where ambitious creators and for all of us to learn, grow, and take action. So without that, it's my honor to introduce Marcus Majors, the CEO and founder of Majors Management Group and Afrolumbia, and the visionary behind Made by Majors. Welcome, Marcus.
Thank you, Jess. Thank everybody for joining. I know we still probably have some people joining in. I just let some people in right now. There's actually two people waiting in the room, Jess, so we can probably let them in. But no, I appreciate everybody being here. It's a Thursday. You guys are here. Trust me, this is going to be a super relaxed conversation. This is going to be, I want this to feel like a FaceTime call. I want this to feel like a group call, right? This is super intimate. I'm so thankful for everybody to be here right now. I've done so many podcasts and webinars and seminars, and this one is special, right? Because it's the first official Made by Majors, right? And like Jess said, we're going to be doing this every month, so topics may change. We may bring someone in that is an expert at, TikTok growth or something around sales or something around AI, right? So every month we're going to be doing something different, and each topic is different. So please, make sure you guys are in tune with what we're doing. But again, I'm excited for you guys to be here because this is the first one. And before I say anything, I promise you this is not going to be like a fluff conversation. I'm not going to be like, yeah, just be consistent and post 100 times a day. Like, let's be realistic, right? Like it just doesn't happen like that. And I know many of us, because I know a lot of you guys on this call, so I know a lot of us challenged with posting. I think being consistent is part of it, but I don't think that all that matters. So I want to make sure I'm on this call, like giving like real game and real gems. And I think for this particular call tonight, right, I want to teach you guys how to build your brand, how to understand how to position yourself as a creator, as a business owner, as an artist, as a founder. I want to make sure you guys start thinking like a brand and thinking like a company. I think that's really important, and that's really the main reason why we built this. I'm looking at some of the chat right now, some of the photos. Like we have creators in here, we have artists in here, we have founders, we have some business owners, some coaches, and then I think there's some people here that are just trying to figure out like, man, who am I? Like, what am I trying to do? Who am I trying to be? And I think that's important, right? So you guys have came to the right place, and I'm excited to get this. This is going to be, like I said, a real conversation. So please take notes. Drop down any questions you may have in the chat. Jess is here to moderate and keep everything together. At the end, we'll open it up for Q&As, but I think my ultimate goal is to have everybody here like leave with like 3 to 5 things, right? Like I promise you, if you're on your computer, you're gonna be on your phone, and as I'm talking to you, you're gonna be doing some of the things I'm telling you to do. Like that's the whole point of this, right? Like everybody here is gonna leave with something that they can be like, oh, Marcus told me to do this. I need to go do this right now, or you're gonna be doing it while I'm on this call today. So I think that's super important. And again, thank you guys for being here. Um, I think before I start, Jess and everybody here, I think it's important to sort of share my stories, I would do it in like 5 minutes. Is I think it's important because a lot of people know me. Some people know me from college, some people know me from, my recent years, some people know me from a past sort of time in my life. And I think it's important to sort share with you guys like who am I and why am I here and why this topic is so important for me. And the reason why is because I played on both sides. I was talent. So there's not a person on this call that can tell me something about being talent that I haven't been through. I was an actor, I was a model, I was a dancer, I was a public speaker. I did it all. I was fighting to get seen. I was fighting for things to go viral. I was fighting for opportunities. I was trying to figure out my identity and my brand. And then, and so much has happened, and I won't go into like my career, but my career had blossomed the moment I realized, like, yo, Marcus, you are the brand. Like you are the niche. Like, and then I moved to management. And when I moved to management, I started managing artists and some of the biggest artists in the world. And one particular was Snoop Dogg. I started realizing and noticing on both sides like how brands work. Like how do brands really secure, a client and how they pick artists and how they pick talent to do certain campaigns. I started to notice why someone who with smaller audience got booked and is why someone with a big audience got booked or didn't get booked, sorry. And that changed everything for me, right? So understanding the position of being a talent and the position from being like on the management side was the thing that changed everything for me. And because of that, I realized that people are not missing talent, right? There's so many people on this call right now that I know personally, like y'all talented as hell, like like for real, like talented and whatever you do, you guys are amazing. Some of you guys got huge followings. Some of you guys are talented, whether you're dancing, singing, artists, rapping, coaches, whatever, right? And I don't think talent is a thing that I'm here to talk about. And when I manage artists, I never do that, right? Like I'm in the studio with some of my artists, but like I'm not here to teach you how to make a song. I'm here to position that song and position you so that we can go and get the charts so we can go on tour, right? It's not my job to sit there and write that song with you. We have people in the room to do that, right? And so the talent is the thing that people on this, that you guys on this call is missing. And some may need to develop more talent, right? But this conversation is around what is missing, what's the positioning that you're missing, and what's the clarity that you're missing. And so I want to be able to provide that for you guys. And that's what I learned through my 10, 15 years in being in this business now as talent and as a manager. So I'm excited to really get into this. And just so you guys know, it's really not about followers. I say this all the time, and I'm probably going to say this so many times throughout this course. It is not about followers. It's about making people understand exactly who you are, why you matter, why should they work with you, why should they book you, why should they call you, and that's what's really important, right? So to get into it, I want to just first talk about like what is a brand, right? Like, yeah, we're gonna go that simple. Like, what is a brand? So, and it's a real conversation because a lot of people don't really understand like what a brand is or what their brand is, right? And so I think a lot of people think a brand is logos, colors, their aesthetics, their Instagram feed, their Facebook. And I don't think that's a brand, right? I think your brand is what people think about you. What do people understand about who you are? Like, why will people come to you? Like, that's your brand, right? There is identity and there's truth to your visual identity, your logo, your color, the way you look, the way you smell, the way you appear, right? But your brand is bigger than that, right? It's an essence and it's an aura about who you are and about how you make people feel, right? And that's a brand. So I just want that. I just really want to make sure like we're really landing on that. Like you can have the prettiest page on Instagram and you can look a certain way and it doesn't really matter. It doesn't always correlate to people. So like I said, that brand is really what people believe about you and who you are before you even enter a room. Like that is what's important. And so, it's the story that, people tell themselves about you and why you do what you do and why you matter. So I want to give some homework. So in this course, I'm just letting you guys know right now, have a pen and paper, have your notes app open. But we definitely gonna be doing some homework. You can do it on the call, you can do it after the call. Also, we can open this up to like later calls if anybody want to do like one-on-ones, and I know some people have. But the first assignment is we got to understand like there's 5 brand clarity questions that you guys have to answer yourself and ask yourself. Sorry. So there are five questions that I think every person on this call, it doesn't matter if you're a creator, an artist, entrepreneur, a business owner, you should be asking yourself these questions to determine exactly what your brand is, right? And these are the five questions. So, question number one is, who am I? That's the first question you need to be asking yourself. Who am I? Question number two is, what do I do? Question number three is, who do I serve and who do I speak to? Like, what am I showing and what am I speaking to? Who's my audience? Who's my target audience? Right? Number four is, what do I want to be known for? And then number five is, what are the opportunities I'm trying to attract? Am I trying to attract more clients, more customers, more followers, more brand deals, more opportunities? Like, what am I trying to attract? So those are the five questions. I will repeat it again. Who am I? What do I do? Who do I serve or speak to? What do I want to be known for? And what opportunities I'm trying to attract? After this workshop, I would love for everybody to answer that. If you know me, please send me a email or a DM or a text, like, yo, I answer these questions and I would love to look, and there's a reason why we're asking these questions because as we get down to this course, like we're gonna meet our pages and our profiles or what we do need to speak to that, right? And you're gonna realize like as we're doing these workshops, we're not answering all these questions, right? We may have one or two that are answered, but we don't have all five. And I think it's important to have all five. So an example of that is like, we don't have any fitness creators here, right? But if I'm a fitness creator, am I just posting workouts or am I posting to help build confidence in men and women through strength training, right? We definitely have a lot of musicians and artists here. So, and if you're a musician, are you just dropping a song today on a Friday, or am I building a world around like my music and my story and my community and who I am, right? If I'm a real estate agent, am I just trying to sell homes, or am I trying to help, a first-time home buyer make a smart decision for themselves, right? That's the sort of clarity that we need to be sort of positioning ourselves in, not just like, oh, I'm a dancer and I'm just trying to show up and just go viral and make this cool song because Drake dropped this song and I'm just trying to dance. Like, what are we trying to make people feel? And why are we dancing, or why are we teaching it, or why are we doing what we're doing? And so those are the sort of questions that we need to be asking around our brand. So just remember those five questions. We're going to come back to that. And then that takes us to like positioning, right? I think at times a lot of people think that posting is the same as their position. And I think there's a difference between content and positioning. And I think I want to really lean on that for the next 10 minutes is that there's a huge difference between what you post and the position that you're showing up as, right? A lot of people here are posting. A lot of people are just not in the right position. They're not telling the right story. And I think that is so important. Posting is uploading content. We have this motto in MMG, and we actually sell shirts around it. It says just post it, right? And I love it. Like that really is my motto. I do think that you should just post it, but I don't think posting is everything, right? Now, there's people here on this call today that need to post. I love y'all, but there's some of y'all that need to post, and I can point y'all out. There's some of y'all that need to post, and I be getting on y'all like, yo, post or drop it or do whatever you need to do. Then there's some people that can dial back posting, and they need to work on more of the positioning because sometimes the posting isn't really providing that clarity of who you are. So, posting is uploading your content, but positioning is telling a story about who you are and shaping how people see you, right? That's a huge difference. So I know people who post every single day and people are still confused about what they do and who they are. Then, and then you can have amazing content and you can have the 4K quality video and your posts and your video still gets lost because people don't understand it and they don't know what to look for and they don't know what to think about it. So posting isn't really everything, right? Then at the same time, I think that there's a difference between quality of post, right? Like you can have someone who posts with a cell phone, iPhone 14, iPhone 13, talking directly into the camera, and they're so clear about who they are, they're so clear about their message, and it works and it goes viral. And then you can have somebody who shot it. They got the camera rigs, they got the phone, they got two cameras just opposing together, and then it doesn't even click because it just you don't feel it, right? And so, you have to position, your content around pointing to people about who you are and what you represent, right? Like your content and your position tells people like, yo, this is what I do. This is what I know what to do. This is what I care about. This is the world that I belong to. This is like my ecosystem. And then this is how I show up. These are the type of opportunities that make sense for me, right? So this is not an exercise, but this is like a tool that we use, me and Jess use now with a lot of our clients, like our one-on-one clients. Like everyone here has a content pillar and they have more than one content pillar. Everybody on this call, right? Depending on what you are, if you're a creator, if you're an artist, if you're an entrepreneur, you have a content pillar, or I would say like your own driving lanes, right? These ports. I always tell people like you can be, I feel like I'm Marcus Majors, but I feel like I have so many different portals and doors to me, right? Like some people know me because of me as a talent, dancing, acting, and modeling. Some people know me because of gym content and being sports and things like that. Some people know me because of talent management and my time with artists and things. Some people know me because of Colombia and my footprint here in Colombia and what I'm doing and travel content. So I think that's important to have content pillars or these sort of content lanes that you should drive down. And so everybody on this call right now, I'm doing three categories, but everyone fits into these three categories, whether you're a creator, an artist, or a entrepreneur. And so if you are one of these or more than one or all of them, take note of these sort of content pillars because this is the sort of lane of what you should be making content for and how you should be making content. So take each one of these pillars underneath you, and you should be making content for these. Now, the content can look different and the message can be whatever. So don't get stuck on the actual keyword. Just understand that this is the content pillar. So for anybody here who is a creator, a content creator, or a creator, right? These are your lanes, right? They can change. There's more than one, but the first one is personal story. You should be telling a personal story. I think personal story belongs to every group here, but you should be telling some sort of personal story. You should be offering some sort of expertise or some sort of value in your content as an offering. Your content, your third content lane should be lifestyle and community. Probably one of the biggest sort of content pillars to this day, especially with AI, like community and lifestyle and driving realness is more and more important. Your lane number four is proof and results. And then number five is your offers and your opportunities as a creator, right? For any of my artists here, and like I said, I know we have a lot of artists here. You should be driving these five lanes, right? When it comes to your content. Number one, obviously, is music and performance. You should be showcasing your music. You should be showcasing yourself performing or your performance around your music. Number two should be behind the scenes, which is probably so integral to artists. I've been managing artists for over a decade. The behind the scene content is so much more important than like the finished product when it comes to being an artist. So like, yeah, that song is dope, but how did you make it? Like I go back now and I watch videos of like people making beats and like how they made that album. Like that is so more important now for me in content. As an artist, number three is your personal story. Number four is culture and community. And then number five is fan connection, which I think is something that a lot of people miss, right? Like building that community and showing content around your fan connection. And that can look different in so many different ways. But going down to all my entrepreneurs that are on this call, which everyone here on this call is an entrepreneur, right? But number one, a founder story. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but a founder story is so important. We just dropped one not too long ago for Afrolumbia. I'm dropping another one for MMG and my own self, but like a founder story is so important. So anybody here who has a business, anybody here who has some sort of company, you should be working on a founder story right now. Why did I make this? What's my mission behind it? What's my purpose? How do we get here? All of that should be a founder story. Number two should be industry expertise. Like, what is your expertise? What is your industry? What is your skill set? What's the content around that? Number three is client and customer value, right? Like those testimonies, those customers, she said this or they said that or that. They gave me 5 stars around this. Four is behind the scenes. Every founder should be doing behind the scenes of how they made it and how they built it, talking about the long nights that people didn't see and the building and breaking down the wall and repainting. And then number five is proof and social impact, right? So those are sort of the content pillars for each of the sort of lanes. Again, there are so many more than that, but that's just something I just wanted to kind of leave with you guys. I think one of the easiest ways to build like a stronger brand is to, just stop posting randomly and just start posting around like those content pillars. So if you stay in the lane, you can have five different types of content, but if you stay in the lane of those content, it will work so much better than you just posting randomly because you don't know what to post and you're like, oh, this is in my phone and I just need to get it out there, right? I think those content categories is so important and people will start to expect that from you. Like people will follow you because of that. Like I use Keith Lee a lot in some of our conversations that we do with some of our clients. And I'm like, yo, people go to Keith Lee because you know he's gonna give you an honest review of some food. You know, like that is so niche down. Like people follow people based on like what it is. Like I personally don't follow many celebrities, but the people that I do follow, I follow you for a reason. I'm very intentional and why I follow this person because how this person makes me feel. That's what you should be doing with your content. Your followers should be following you because it's like, yo, she makes me feel like this, or she does this, or he speaks about this, or he talks about this, or I go to him because he has the best of this, right? And that's the sort of lane that you should be living in, and that's the content that you should be making, right? So I hope you're clear on that. And again, like I said, we can go to questions at the end to elaborate on any of this. But I just want to keep moving along on this. And the second thing is this is really important because we have some people here that have like huge following and even now like we have with MMG we have a creator network. We have about 200 creators and influencer celebrities that we manage and have signed to us at this moment, and some of them have huge following, some of them have amazing socials, and then some are still trying to figure it out. And I think the key message here is that your profile is your storefront. I tell people all the time, like, my Instagram is not personal. I say this, and I'll be honest with you. I say this even with dating. Like, my Instagram is not personal. My mama, she can go and post some Chipotle and a cat in the grass in the sun. That's my mom. I don't do that. Everything I post, if anybody's following me right now, be my witness. Anything that I've ever posted has been very intentional. Even my gym photo, even my selfie is intentional. Like your profile is truly your storefront, and you guys need to be very practical with the way you use it. You need to be building around it, and this brings us to our second homework. And I did this for everybody who signed up. We had about 25 people, 26, sorry, 26 people that registered. And all 26 of you guys, I appreciate you. I know some people probably couldn't make it, but I did some audits on everybody who was joining today, right? And so to get to the assignment of the homework about your profile, your page is your first impression, right? Like your WhatsApp, yeah, sorry, your website, your Instagram, your TikTok, your LinkedIn, it really is your first impression. It's your, I'm gonna date myself, but it's the yellow pages for yourself. It's the news article. It's you, right? It's your billboard. And so it means a lot. And so when someone comes to your page and your profile and they lands on it, they should be able to be clear about what you do, right? Like as a brand manager and as an entrepreneur and as a CEO of managing talent, if I have to scroll on your page and it takes me 10 minutes to figure out what the hell you do, we messing up. We messing up. And I should be able to scroll. I should be able to see it just from like not even going on your page. I should be able to go to your page from photo to name to your bio to that first what 6 blocks that Instagram shows us when we're just on somebody's page. I should be able to understand exactly what you do and who you are. And if that isn't the case for you guys today, like we need to make sure we change that. So the homework today is I would love for everybody to do an audit of their profiles. And the other thing too is it's not just Instagram. It's every single platform that you're at least active on, right? So it should be LinkedIn, it should be, Facebook, it should be Snapchat, it should be TikTok, it should be all of that. And so here are the questions that you should be asking yourself, and this is something that we do with our talent that we work with, is does my bio clearly say what I do? There are some people here that their bio doesn't clearly say what they do. There's some people that bios that are okay. There's some bios that are great. There's some bios that are okay. There's some bios that we can clean up, right? And trust me, by the end of this, we'll clean it up, right? Does my profile say who I help and what I create? Does my pin content support my positioning? Some of you guys don't have anything pinned. And I think it's important, especially if we're growing a business, right? Like there should be at least 1 to 3 things pinned on your profile, right? And those should be the best quality videos. It should be a founder story. It should be the reel or the photo that points to exactly what you do. So if you don't have anything pinned, you should have things pinned. You know, your best video, your best photo, something should be pinned on your Instagram, on your TikToks, or any of the platforms, even Facebook. Facebook has a pin feature. Actually, every profile has a pin feature. So those things should be pinned. Is there a clear link or CTA? This is important. Everybody who I audit, some people have things that are links. Some people have broken links. So make sure you go back and fix that. Some people have links, but they're just so there's a key thing with Instagram, right? Let's just use Instagram. So if I'm on your page, you may have your TikTok as your link, right? And so if I'm looking at your page, I'm gonna see HTTPS, TikTok, whatever, right? I hate that. It looks ugly. But if I click on your links, it should have a caption of what that link is, right? So everybody here, if you have a link, it's fine. It may look ugly when you post it. It may show the beacons or the link tree, but when I click on links, you should have a title for each of those links. So it could be clear on like what this is, right? So we need clear links or clear CTAs, right? Click below to listen to my music, click below to buy my product or get my services, or book me for a consultation. Another thing is, can my brand or can my client quickly understand how to contact me? This is important. Everybody here that I've looked at, some people have their emails, some people emails are in their bios, which is okay. That's great. But your email, I should be able to click on your email, right? Like I should be able to write on your profile, either be able to contact you or email you if you're providing some sort of service or business, right? If you're not, I get it, right? I don't want people calling you, you don't want people emailing you. I get it. But if you're on this call, we're building ourselves as a brand. So I don't care if you make a Google number, right? A fake number. There should be some sort of access to you. And like I said, there's a few people here that did have emails or a contact. There's some people that put it into their bios. But there should be an active button that you should be able to click to go over. And or so brands or clients can, follow you. Number one, and should have been the first thing I should have said out of my mouth. If your page is private, what we doing? If you have a private page, I mean, what we doing? I that's like for me, that's like the biggest pet peeve, like, because I'm not gonna follow you. Like, I don't even follow regular people like that. So, like, I'm not about to sit here and have to wonder, like, dang, yo, her avatar or his avatar, I mean, that looks cool. Like, but like, no, I should be able to see your page open, right? Now, if you got stalkers and stuff, that's not my problem. Block them, right? But you should have a public page and not a private one. Um, and then the last thing is, does my page look active and intentional, right? Like I said, there's a lot of people you are joining today, and I'm skimming through, and it's like, man, we ain't get a post out since 2023. We ain't have an update since last Christmas. Like, what we doing? We in July right now. Like, I need to see something. Like, we need to be active. Like, you can't expect people or a brand to look out for you. You can't expect for clients to contact you. You can't expect for people to want to listen to your music, and then like your last post was New Year's resolution. Like, what are we doing? Right. And so everybody here needs to have an active or intentional page. And that can look in different ways, right? You may not be that active on posting, but there should be some stories, there should be some highlights, something that's making sure people know that you're here. I wanted to give some examples of like bios, because there are some people here, and like I actually want to. I'm just looking to see who's here right now. Yeah, so there are a few of you guys that have like great bios, and then like I said, there are some of you guys that have like okay bios, and some of y'all have to change it, right? And for example, there are artists that can be very just like let's take Champagne Poppy, Drake, right? Drake bio, he doesn't need to put like R&B artist, Grammy nominated, like he doesn't need to do that, right? He can put an avocado emoji and like a city, and it's like speaks for Drake, right? I get it, right? Everybody on this call, we can't do that. Like, y'all can't do that. Like, stop that. We don't have to be this coolness, got to go out the window. So having a bio that says just living life, That's not it, right? What's better is, fitness creator helping, busy women build strength and confidence. Having in your bio artists, which a lot of y'all on this call have just artists, is not enough. It should be, R&B artist or pop singer or, Afrobeats artist, or building around this or giving back to this, right? Speaking to something. If you're an entrepreneur, I think entrepreneur and those keywords are great, but it should give me a little bit more. Like I'm a founder helping people to, you know, I'm helping them with their taxes, or I'm a founder, coaching women through peace and mindfulness. I'm a professional dancer. Yes, that's a cool tag for your bio, but I'm a dancer, providing movement through such and such, right? And so I think sometimes like we need to biohack our we need to biohack what we have in our profile. So your bio shouldn't just describe who you are, it should direct people to something, right? And so point them to something. Don't just be like, yeah, I'm this, and that should be enough. And then the sad part about that is some of y'all, the bio could be verbatim as far as like what I am, and then you go to your page, I'm like, I don't see none of this. Like she got here artist. Where I'm a dancer. Wait, I ain't see one video of you dancing. I have not seen one video of you coaching. I have not seen one video of you talking about this thing. So, the bio could be misleading as well, right? Especially when brands are trying to look for you. So, that's something that we should work on. Everybody here, like go through your profiles, all of them, right? I have people here that your Instagram may be up to par. Then I click and I go to your Facebook. Your Facebook still talks as if you were in college. Like, what we doing? Like, you need to be changing everything. I personally copy and paste whatever the bio is. I make sure that same bio or is in the same vein on Threads, TikTok, LinkedIn. LinkedIn may be a little bit different. Excuse me, depending on what it is. YouTube, Facebook. So make sure you audit all of your profiles, not just your Instagram. Um, this next section, I want to really get into like the meat and potatoes about one of the larger parts of this call is like what are brands actually looking for? And I think we can also cater that to like what are clients and customers looking for. It doesn't have to just be brand. So when I use the word brand, don't just think of it like a company like a Nike or whatever, right? Think of it like what is a customer looking for? But for the most part, we'll be using this moment to really talk about brands here. Um, and this is where I really want to just give like as much game. Like somebody, I had a friend that texted me, he's like, yo, you gonna be giving away the gems? I'm like, yo, bro, I'm giving away the gems. Like I want to give away the gems here. So I really want to talk about brand partnerships. I really want to talk about like what brands are looking for. At the same time, for our entrepreneurs, this goes into like think about this for customers and clients as well, right? One of the biggest misconceptions that we always talk about, and like I said, I just made a video about this, is that brands only care about followers. I have managed, and if you know me, you know, I have managed some of the biggest artists and talent. And I'm talking about when I say big, they had 1.5, 1.2 million followers, 10 million followers. And just because they had that many followers, we brands weren't eating out our hands. Like we were struggling to get brand deals. And you would think this person with 1.2 million followers is like brands is just knocking on the door. And that's just not the case. Like followers matter, but that's not the whole thing. And I know people who have less followers that are they're getting booked every single day. They're getting UGC deals, they're getting PR campaigns, they're doing long-term deals, they're hosting, they were at this festival, they just was at Essence, they were speaking, and you go to their page, like, this person just spoke at Essence on a panel, and this person got 200 followers. But you know what? You go to that person's page and it's clear about what they do. Just because their followers didn't match up, it's clear what they are. And they were supposed to be on that stage speaking on that panel, right? And so I think you got to understand exactly what brands are asking for. And this is important. Like brands are asking like, does this person align with our brand? That's like number one. Like, does this person create good content? Till this day, quality content matters. There are apps like TikTok where I feel like you can get away with just like talking head pieces of content that just sort of comes from like you just like own it and just talking and having whatever poor quality and nothing cut. But to this day, brands still look for good content that is being created in quality. Brands are asking, does their audience trust them? Can they tell a story? Are they professional, which is very, very important? Will this partnership feel authentic? And can they actually deliver, right? Like brands are really doing a checklist and an audit about who you are. And so brands really, they really care about your audience alignment. They really care about your engagement quality. And we're gonna get to this later, but like there's some key insights that brands look for. Like they don't just pay attention to your followers, they pay attention to your access, your trust, your creativity. And a lot of brands, they are looking at engagement these days. So it's not about the number of views you got, they're looking at engagement. My testimony is I pride myself at engagement, right? Um, I have some videos that may do well, I have some videos that may do okay, but them comments is busting. Like them comments are people are commenting and brands love that more than views, right? Can you make some people have a whole conversation in your comment section is so much more valid than if it went viral. Like, is it shares? Like, can you see like the number of reposts and number of shares? Like that is so important these days when it comes to your content. If you did a food vlog, if you did a trip, if you did a song, are people actually sharing it and actually reposting it and commenting on it looks so much better than how many views it got. Like who cares? Nowadays you can hide the views and the likes. Like I like that part about Instagram that it has stripped the vanity of views and likes. So like, man, hide them. I tell my clients all the time, hide them. I got stuff that has went viral. You can't see the likes on it because it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Now the shares and the reposts and the comments, I think those are strong. Um, I think too, like, and this is important for everybody on this call, is that there are different types of brand opportunities, right? And I think sometimes we like, oh, I'm waiting for this big sponsorship. I'm waiting for Nike or Bacardi or Remy Martin or Pepsi or Vans or whatever to just drop a bag. And it's like, nah, there's so many different ways to be in this industry and make a lot of money. Content creation, or I'll say the creator content economy right now is over $2 billion and it's going to keep growing. So I want y'all to know that it is $200 billion in revenue being earned from content creation and this sort of content creator economy. People are eating. And you guys are like, oh, I need a Nike deal. I need a Pepsi deal. Wow, there is somebody right now on TikTok Shop that's a millionaire. It's somebody right now that got PR boxes off the Wuha. Like they maintenance person or the security at the door, like, hey, hold on, we got another box today. Like, what's going on? Like, there's somebody right now eating in UGC content. Some people bash UGC content, and like you can do UGC content and you can make a killing from it, or it could help you position to get that longer brand deal. So, these are some of the sort of opportunities that are different from just like this big sponsorship, right? You have UGC content, you have PR gifting, you have affiliate campaigns, you have event hosting, you have brand ambassadorships, you have content licensing, which is very important that a lot of people don't talk about. You have paid social usage, long-term campaigns, speaking opportunities, community partnerships, consulting, workshops, and creative direction. Like there are so many different lanes that you can go into when it comes to looking for a brand opportunity. And you don't always have to lean on like, I need this big check from this brand, or I need them to buy into this thing. Like maybe your messaging is right. You're trying to attack this brand for a big partnership, and then they're like, man, like jab at them first. Hey, you know what? Let's do some PR gifting right now. Let me take this cologne from you. Let me make something amazing with this piece of cologne. Let me put it in my video. Let me shoot something with it. Let me do a testimony. Let me do some sort of unboxing, and then that's a jab back to that brand that, hey, I can show up. I can really tell stories. My content looks great. My community trusts me. They love your product. I can deliver on conversions to sales. Like then you go back into that, right? So, like I said, a lot of times, we think that it's just this big sponsor Instagram post, and we're looking at it all wrong. Like there's so many ways that you guys can monetize your brand. My entrepreneurs and my founders here, like you could be coaching and you could be speaking and you be going to panels for brands, right? Like you could be on, All-Star Weekend on a panel about basketball talking about something, right? And it could be sponsored by the NBA, So there's so many different ways to sort of work with the brands. And I think it's important to understand exactly what brands are looking for and exactly how brands are showing up in different opportunities. And then for me, it's how to pitch yourself. right? There's some people on this call that I talk to all the time, and I'm like, they're like, yo, how do you get this? How you get this? And I'm like, yo, I had 6,000 followers and I was getting more brand deals than most people. And it's because I just knew how to pitch myself. I knew exactly how to pitch myself. There are people on this call right now, y'all got way more followers than me. And it doesn't matter when you know how to pitch yourself. So, and that could be pitching yourself to a label, that could be pitching yourself to a client, that could be pitching yourself to a brand. And for me, pitching yourself isn't like begging, like, hey, hey, such and such, I really love this deal. Like, I think that is, you have to be savvy, you have to be smart, and it's a bit of a manipulation tactic, right? There's a little bit of persuasive that you need to have when it comes to pitching yourself. So, for me, pitching is like talking about who you are. It's about understanding the brand is important, understanding what type of value you can give back to the brand, and then, hey, this is what's next, right? This is what we can do next. Let's go to email. Who can I contact? I would love to set up a call. Like that is what's important because for me, pitching, like I think that most people, especially people on this call, you just one pitch away from just changing your whole life. Everything else you're doing right. There's some people on this call that I cannot, man, you're doing everything right. And I thank you for being on this call because your content, who you are, your brand, it speaks value. Yo, you got the numbers, you got the look, you got everything. And I'm gonna be honest with you, you just ain't pitching right. And there's some few of you guys that I've talked to about that before, right? Like we're just not positioning ourselves right, and we're just not showing up right for those opportunities to really land in our lap. So one of the things that I would love to sort of just like work through today is just like an example of a pitch. I pitch all the time. Yesterday I was on a call with one of my boys and I was talking to him about pitching. And the thing is that you can't write a blue chip brand and be like, oh, they didn't respond back. And then you only did that one time. Like, if y'all see my DMs, and I would love to screen record my phone right now, I pitch every day. I do about 10 to 20 pitches a day. I kid you not. My DMs ain't full of people. My DMs are full of brands. I'm over here asking this spa, this car company, this hotel, this sneaker brand, this I'm asking and I'm talking and I'm pitching who I am. And so that looks different in different ways, right? Like I tell people like DM pitching is for me is like it's my specialty. Like I'm jabbing in the DMs. Like I'm shooting my shot in the DMs. Like I'm not, I ain't like most people are trying to talk to celebrities and talk to men and women. I'm over there shooting my shot in the DMs at brands, right? And I think the way you shoot your shot in the DMs and the way in the versus the email does look a little bit different, right? It could be the same, but it can look a little bit different. An example of like an email is like I put here something just to read off to you guys, like hey, Brand, my name is Marcus Majors, founder of Majors Management Group in Columbia. I've been following what you've been doing, and I love your brand, how it connects with the culture, the lifestyle, and the community. I would love to explore a content collaboration where I could create high quality lifestyle, event-driven content that brings your brand to life in an authentic way. I'm based between Colombia and the United States, and I have experience creating creator-led campaigns, hosting events, and building community-focused brand moments, right? I would love to connect and let's see where we can take this collaboration. That's an email pitch, right? I will probably go a little bit more deeper and jab and do a little bit more jabs, maybe put in a link to my website or to my media kit or to a link to a past video that maybe be on brand for them. DM is something similar, but it's a little bit more just kind of like straightforward and it's simpler, obviously because of the character count that you have in the DM, but hi, Brand. Love what you're doing. My name is Marcus Majors. I wanted to introduce myself. I'm the founder of Majors Management Group in Columbia. I create content and I build creator campaigns and I host amazing culture-driven events here between Colombia and the United States. I think there could be a cool alignment and synergy around content, community, and brand partnership opportunities. Would love to connect if you're open. Here's my email, right? I think the key takeaway from this too is for me, I always jab at the brand first. So when you're pitching, jab at the brand. Make them feel, I don't care if you lying. Make them feel as though you, excuse my language, you fuck with their brand so much. I do this all the time. I be like, oh my God, Vans. Hey, my name is Marcus Majors. I love Vans. Oh my God, it's the only shoe I wear. I'm lying. but this is the best shoe on earth. I do this, do that. Like I do this with everything. Oh, I love your food. Oh, I go to a rooftop all the time. I just did this pitch today to a rooftop here in Colombia. I had never been to that rooftop ever in my life. Yo, love the rooftop. Here you guys have the best hookah and the best cocktails. Amazing. I don't even drink. Who cares? Like you gotta jab at them. You gotta jab at them. And then they're gonna look at this and be like, yo, like he started with giving us our flowers. Oh yeah, we like this guy. Thank you. Everyone likes a compliment. You start just like handing out compliments all day, you're gonna get it. So, um, and then recognize that that first pitch is not the deal. So I don't go into a pitch, especially my first one, like asking for something, right? I kind of jab at them, I kind of introduce myself, and I kind of allow the opportunity to get on a call, set up an email, or later on pitch that proposal or that idea. So, the goal is to just open up a conversation with them. The goal is to start some sort of, even if they read it, for me is like important. This is just like a game of minds that a lot of you guys know. If I DM a brand and they write back, if they see it or if they double tap it, it's over. Oh, you done messed up. I got you. I got you. It's easy. It's at this point because you gotta understand, big brands won't really do that nine times out of 10. Like if I DM Nike, they're not going to see it, right? Like we get that. That's huge of a brand, right? Maybe they have a social media intern or a social media girl that's maybe checking their DMs. Yeah, but Nike may be like a long shot. But there are mom and pop brands or even still smaller brands that are big that they have social media interns. They have social media people that are checking their things. The moment that person comments, oh, I got you. Even if you say, hey, Marcus, right now, thank you. We're not accepting collaborations. Cool. I got you. I got you on the hook. You open up my DMs. Now, anytime I tag you, anytime I say something to you, you're going to get that notification because now we have crossed the barriers of having this connection. Even if we don't follow each other, now I can comment and tag you in anything that I do. And so that's a really good look to look at. Like, don't always shoot your shot at big brands, shoot your shot at the mom and pop ones. The mom and pop ones are looking for creators. They're looking for people to collaborate with. They're looking for people who need help and guidance. So I think it's really important to learn how to pitch your brands. Again, at the end of this, if anybody has any questions regarding like pitching, we'd love to answer that. Um, the next thing I want to really get into is like monetization, right? Beyond followers. I think a lot of us right now is like, okay, cool, Marcus, like this is all dope, but like where the money at, dog? Like, like how do I make money from this content creation? Like, how do I make money from my brand? How do I get close more high ticket sales? How do I close on more customers? How do I get more listeners and increase my monthly, listeners and streams? How do I close and get more brands to buy in? Like we're going to talk about that right now. I got y'all. So I think the important thing to understand, like how to monetize on social media. And like I said, there's so many different opportunities that comes from that. It's not just like the big brand deal. Like you can monetize in so many different ways. Right now, I get residual income from like several different platforms, and it's just like mailbox money at this point, right? And they're not all the same, right? It can get a check from Meta one day, right? There can be a check that comes from TikTok. There could be a check that comes from YouTube. There could be a check that comes from LinkedIn. Like at one point, I was getting paid from Pinterest when Pinterest had a creator program. I was eating off of Pinterest, right? I have friends that are going crazy with Snapchat and they're doing some amazing things on Snapchat. I haven't really gotten to that level, but Snapchat is another place that you can really kill. At one point, Threads had a program where they were paying people, and that was great. I'd love for them to bring that back. But there's so many different ways to monetize from these apps, and you don't have to just look at one thing. So I think monetization comes from like understanding like what type of value you actually provide. I think a lot of times we're like, oh, I want to get paid, but it's like, okay, cool. Like what value are you providing for this brand or for this customer, for this person to come in? So some of you guys, like I said, are creators here, and some of you guys are artists. And I think it's important to understand like what value does my content speak? Am I influencing people? Am I doing storytelling? Does they have access to like my niche or my community or my trust? So, and again, some of you guys are followers. So it's like, what value am I providing as a founder, as an entrepreneur? Am I giving away some sort of knowledge? Am I helping with some sort of transformation? Am I lending them my expertise, or am I providing some sort of level of results. So before we can get paid, we need to understand the value that we're offering to people that we expect to get paid from, right? And so, same with the artists here on the call, right? Like, why do my audience and my listeners want to, come to a show, buy some merch, buy a ticket to a festival or a concert, right? So there's the questions that we got to ask ourselves, like, why do people want to come to us? Why do they want to know us? Why do they care what we create? What problem do we solve for them? What audience do they have access to? And then lastly is like, what type of experience are they going to get from, being a follower? Like, that's so important. Like, you don't have to wait. And I have these questions all the time, and a lot of I have these, we struggle, man. Me and Jess, we had a client, and she had like 5 followers on Instagram. Now she has over 1,000, right? So we did something right. But her stance in the beginning was like, you think you have to show up when you have 10,000, 100,000 followers. And it's like, no, you don't have to start treating yourself as a brand once you have a certain level of followers. And then, like, what is that number? Who made it up? Do we need 100,000? Is it 50,000? Now, don't get me wrong, the platforms that may say, oh, you need 10,000 to then go live on TikTok, or you need 1,000 to unlock this feature, right? Like, those are the platforms. They may have like certain guardrails on following count. But for the most part, when it comes to selling, you don't have to have a huge amount of followers to start treating yourself like a brand. If you have a business now and that business only has 300 followers, you can still be selling your products or selling your services to people. It doesn't matter. Treat yourself like a brand. So, here's some examples of like monetization when it comes to different levels, right? So, I like to call them funnels at times, right? So like, you don't have to just jump out and start selling. You can sort of create these sort of funnels, or you can create these sort of systems that lead to certain levels of monetization. So free content can just be something that just open door. It could be a free ebook, it could be a free brochure, it could be a free sample, it could be a free consultation, it could be a free listen, download. I think the other thing is like low ticket digital products is another thing. So maybe you are selling some sort of in your shop or in your store on your Instagram or your bio or your link tree or your beacons. Paid workshop is a way to monetize and get paid for things. I mean, this is a representation of that. One-on-one consulting is another big one. Brand partnerships, obviously, that's what a lot of us here on this call would love to do. And then I think too, like the bigger thing is like retainers and long-term, collaborations, and those are the big ones, right? That's, I got 3 months, 6 months with this campaign, or I have 3 months, 6 months with this client, and every month this client is paying me at this retainer, right? Like I feel like that's like the end goal with a lot of us. But I think your content, and I think you need to start to build trust around that. And then your trust turns into those opportunities for you to start to get paid, right? So, don't always just think about like, okay, cool, how do I monetize this and how do I get paid? Like, really understand, like, we got to create some sort of credibility and proof into what we're offering so that that makes people believe in what matters, right? Like, I think, I personally think proof matters. And when it comes to yourself as an artist and as a content creator. So, I think it is very easy for me to pitch myself to brands or pitch myself to people once they see the proof. Once you go and you see maybe a slide or two or a post or two that speaks to that sort of message. And I'll give you guys an example of how I used to get booked for things back in the day when I didn't have no following and nothing. So I was a model. First of all, I'll take you back to a story. Here's a good testimony about content and how content can lead you to opportunities that you didn't know existed. So there's two big ones, and some of you guys know one of them because it was a big one, and some of you guys may not know the latter. I got signed in 2012 with a modeling contract because I took photos with this model in Miami, and we hired a photographer. We rented like it wasn't even Airbnb around there. We rented like a hotel, and we shot like couple content. That content still lives on my page. It's like me and her drinking like a champagne. There's like one of me and her in a bathroom, and it's like a robe, and then everything is great, branded content. Me on the couch, like with a remote, and we're watching TV. And I posted that on my Facebook. Wasn't even Instagram, Facebook. There was a modeling agent from an agency in Miami called Boca Models. She wrote me on Facebook Messenger and was like, um, are you signed? Are you do you have a modeling contract? And I'm like, nah. She's like, oh, who shot this? I'm like, Rick Gomez. She's like, yeah, but what is this for? I'm like, no, it was just something I just wanted to do with my friend. We just put something together. She's like, yeah, let's get him set up a meeting, right? And I got signed to a modeling agency from a Facebook post that I posted, right? And that happened a lot, right? I'll give you guys the bigger story that a lot of you guys know and a lot of you guys don't know. But in 2020, in the height of COVID, everyone was losing their jobs, everyone was suffering. I got blessed, and I'm retired at that, right? I'm not an active model. I'm not an active dancer or anything. I am working behind scene managing talent. I got booked for a national Facebook commercial in 2020 during the height of COVID, and I will tell you guys right now, I split $500,000 with my friends for this commercial from a photo of me from 2016. 4 years later, and this is on my page, 4 years later, a photo of me that I took in 2016 in Brickell, in Miami, with my friends. Just like, yo, I called my friends up on a Saturday and I was like, yo, I need to take some photos for my portfolio. It's gonna be us playing basketball, and we're gonna do some like stock photography. I got my boy Corey coming. He's gonna take some photos of us. That was it. I called my homie. None of them were models. None of them were models. All of them were just the homies. I just needed background fillers. So we playing ball, we shooting. This is 2016. I posted those on Instagram, posted those around social media. 4 years later, Facebook used that photo, one of those photos, in a national commercial where each one of my friends, we got paid $100,000 for a photo during COVID. People are losing their jobs, people are dying, everything. And a photo for 4 years ago, bless me. That's the point of quality and the content of equality and posting, right? Like that's what we need to look at. It's not that instant satisfaction of like, oh, I posted this and it needs to go viral. Like, yo, 4 years later, there's something on your page that may bless you. There may be a post that you posted in, 2022 that a brand sees because they went viral again or resurged on social media, and they want this or they want to use it or they want to buy you out. There may be a song that you may have that you put this song out in 2019, and we've seen this so many times. Like how many artists that, there's songs that hit now. I think the Post Malone and like Sway Lee song was used in the Spider-Verse movie. That song was like 4 or 5 years old before it got put into that movie, and it changed their life. Like we've seen that so many times where like old work comes. So I think it's important to, when you're shooting and creating content, to be intentional around it, and then allow that content to breathe, allow that content to speak, right? And it may not speak today, and it may not speak tomorrow, and you may look and be like, I got 10 likes on this thing, but that content still has legs, and you need to understand that. So I think that type of proof of your work and proof of your content allows you to create more opportunities. And for me, it was that, right? Like I got a modeling career. And there's so many stories I can tell from like posting and how posting affected where I'm at today, just by one post. But I won't get into that. I'm gonna keep moving on. But I wanted to get into this. This is important. Is the mistakes that people make, right? I think sometimes, like as I'm sharing this, we do make a lot of mistakes when it comes to our content. And I want to make sure that we all know that mistakes are cool and mistakes are great. But like, I want you guys to start to own up to these certain mistakes when it comes to like pitching and getting content and getting discovered. Like, a lot of people are stuck behind waiting to get discovered and they don't know why. And the honest reason why, and sometimes I'm having these conversations with a lot of you guys here, is like, there's not enough clarity. There's not enough consistency in your work. There's not enough relationship. And I think also sometimes the timing isn't just right, right? Like if I got discouraged by the hotel today that say, hey, Marcus, we're not looking for collaborations, it's not like, it's not the end all, it's just timing, right? But if I'm not showing up, how do I expect people to want to listen or want to watch or want to book me, right? And so sometimes we have to own up to sort of the mistakes that we're making. And those mistakes look like, posting without clarity. It looks like trying to appeal to everybody, which is, I think is wrong. You're waiting to be discovered. Like I have friends and I have homies here on this call and I love y'all, but y'all just waiting. It's like, yo, who gonna listen to that music if it's in your drive? Like, what we doing? Like, what are we waiting for? Like, okay, I have friends here on this call. It's like, yo, you got a vlog. You just went to this restaurant. And he's like, yeah, I cut this up and I edited it on CapCut. Cool. Where is it at? You went there 2 months ago. You still ain't post that? Like, what are you waiting for? How do you expect the brand to be like, oh, I ate there and I loved it? Like, how am I supposed to know that? Another thing is like, there's no clear offer. There's no media kit. I strongly suggest everybody on this call, depending on what you do, you should have some sort of media representation of you to speak for yourself, especially if you don't have an agent or a manager or some sort of liaison that can speak for you. Everybody on this call, even my founders, my entrepreneurs, and my consultants on this call, like you should have some sort of media representation of yourself. That can be a link tree, that could be a bio, sorry, a website, that can be a media kit, a EPK from an artist, that could be some sort of one sheet, that it could be a video that is a sizzle reel about who you are, or a sizzle reel from your highlights or your dancing or your acting reel or something like that. Like, but everyone here on this call needs some sort of media thing. If you're a business owner, you need some sort of brochure that speaks to your services and your products and what you do. And if you don't have that, we're losing right now. We're losing. Everyone here needs to have some sort of media kit or media representation. The other thing I feel like, we're focusing too much on followers. We're focusing too much on the sell, but then there's no follow up. How many times do we pitch, or how many times do we email somebody and then there's no follow up? Like the follow up sometimes make people. There's some of y'all on this call that had to follow up with. It was just that's just what it is. Like it ain't like you don't like me or nothing. It's just like, yo, I gotta remind you again. And I think everyone needs that. Like I think you gotta treat that like a brand too, right? Like if I hit this brand up or I hit this client up or I'm trying to get this sale, but I only wrote this person one time, like, what am I doing? Like the sale is in the follow-up. I may hit you 2 times. And on that third knock on the door, I might be annoying. I'm like, God damn, okay, Margaret, damn, I'm gonna sign up, or I'm gonna buy this, or I'm gonna go listen right. I'm gonna listen right now. You know what? I'm so sorry, I was so busy. I'm free right now. Thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna go listen to the song right now. Or hey, I'm gonna go book this right now. Or hey, yes, girl, I'm gonna go and sign up for your course or book your services because I need to get this done. So sometimes don't be afraid to follow up. And I think following up sometimes helps you so much in the sale. So I know I've been talking a lot about certain things, and I want to get to sort of like our one of our remaining and last homeworks before we get into like the Q&As and things like that. So, number one, and I'm just going to go through some of them, the ones that we talked about, but rewriting your sort of story about who I am and your identity. Number two is your bio, making sure that's clear. I would love for all of y'all to go back. I should have screenshotted everybody's that I looked at today because I know y'all gonna be changing it, and I hope y'all change it. But everybody here should be rehacking their bio, so I should be able to go back to everybody on this call today and go back, and something should change. And even if you feel like your bio, like my bio was good, like you should change something in your bio, whether it's the email, whether it's the link, whether it's the CTA, whether it's add an emoji on it or something, or change another keyword, right? So I would love for everybody to change their bios. I would say that everyone here needs to pick their content lane, pick 3 to 5 content lane, and start making content based on those content pillars or those content lanes. Um, Everyone here needs to pin something to their post. I'm going to check. Pin something. You don't have to pin everything. You don't have to have pin 3. If you don't have 3, cool. There should be something pinned after this call. And that thing that's pinned should be speak to who you are and what you're trying to sell, right? I don't care if all you got to clean up the rest and you got to make better content. You got one of those pieces of content right now that you could be pinning to your page. So everybody right now, pin your best work to your profile later on. If you don't have, homework is create a media kit or a one sheet. If you need help with that, me and Jess do offer that as a service. But honestly, it's something that everyone can use these days. Just if you are working on it and you need help and you need guidance around like what needs to go into your media kit, please contact us. We can help with that. Make sure you use Canva, or make sure you use a better tool. Don't just like hack it into AI and ChatGPT, because they notice. We notice. So the other thing is make a list of 10 brands, 10 clients, 10 collaborations, 10 opportunities that you want. My biggest secret to getting what I want is that I write stuff down. I'm not at my desk right now, but if you know me, pen and paper is my strong suit. I write everything down, and then I write it down, I put it into my notes. Then I write it down and I put it into my Google Drive. But it starts with a pen and paper. I mean, I just posted something the other day. I highlight everything, I write everything out. I know exactly the brands I want to target. I know exactly the opportunities I want. I know exactly my to-do list. I know exactly where I want to go. It's like going inside of Walmart, knowing that you need some food, and then you just walk in there with no list. And now you're just grabbing things. And you didn't come in here for nothing else but that ingredients for that food that you need to make, right? But if you came in there and you had a list, right? Maybe you'll grab something, one or two things that are extra outside that list, but you will stay on that list. And that's how I am. Like I don't walk into nothing without a list. I don't do nothing without like here's my objective for the day. I put a haircut appointment on my calendar. I put the gym on my calendar. Like if you, I'm not joking. Like it says gym 10 a.m. It says haircut 1. It says groceries and eat here. Like I'm you have to be very intentional about your day. You have to be very intentional about your goals that you're trying to set. So everyone here, make a list of 10 brands, 10 clients, 10 collaborations, 10 opportunities that they want to work with. I would love for everyone this week to send three, at least 3 to 5 pitches this week. If you do it, please, man, send me a screenshot of something. Because you never know. Like, shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. I'm telling you, they're gonna answer. So and if you're an artist, shoot your shot at a label, shoot your shot at a listener. Hey, I see you like music like this. Well, I make music just like that. Boom, here. Shoot your shot at clients. Go on LinkedIn, go on Threads, go on Facebook, and start shooting your shot and pitching. So 3 to 5 pitches this week, if you can, and then post one piece of content that clearly communicates your value, right? Those are the 7 things I'm gonna leave y'all with, right? And I'll read it off again if you don't have it, but rewrite your bio with clarity, pick 3 to 5 content lanes and make content about that. Pin 1 to 3 posts on your page, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok. Create an updated media kit or one sheet. Make a list of 10 brands, clients, collaborations, and opportunities. Send 3 pictures this week and then post one content that clearly communicates your value, right? That's the homework. I'm giving y'all 7 days to do that. Because in 7 days, if you reset like that, I promise you so much will change. These sort of small actions create the momentum that you're looking for. I don't never really do anything that's like big. Sometimes I do baby steps, right? Like we got here with Made by Majors from baby steps. Yeah, we took a lot of smaller steps to get here today. And even this, like sometimes I'm a perfectionist, man. I'm like, I want 100 people in here. And I'm like, yo, this is these small moments and these small moves compound to something bigger. We're going to look back at this first call and it's going to be like, yo, Marcus, this thing now has like 100, 200 people on the Zoom now. I don't even think Zoom allows you that many. Like we're going to have problems. We're going to have to bring this to something else. So please, I'm giving you guys 7 days. Again, everybody here, if you have my number and my Instagram, I would love to see your sort of like screenshots of any of this stuff that I'm talking about right now. Like, yo, I changed this around to this. What you think? I'm here to answer. With that being said, before we wrap and before we go into like Q&As, I really want to say thank you guys. I hope I didn't like yap your ears off too much. I really hope that what I was saying you can take and process. I hope that you're able to write some things down, or there's some things that stuck in your mind. You're like, oh, I need this later. I don't think that this is everything. Like I said, we're going to be doing this every single month. I think there's so much game. I cannot give it all in an hour and a half. We will be here all day, really, right? And that's why we do our intensive. So we do a 4 week and a 6 week intensive. If anybody's interested in that, please let me know. We'll love to do that. Like I said, we have some clients that really had a transformation, to their content and to their approach to their business because of this 4 to 6 week course that we did with them. We also do, just like some daily one-on-ones and audits and things like that as well. So I really appreciate you guys. Like I said, I hope that you start to build more around your value. You start to build more around the experience and the things that you provide, and you start to look at your business as a brand. Please use your social media. It should feel personal, but it should feel intentional, right? And that doesn't mean like try to be perfect every single time when you post, or try to be perfect every single time that you drop a story, or feel like you can't post until you get the best quality photo. But you should be posting with some sort of intention, and you shouldn't be using it just to be using it, right? Leave that to your aunties, your mamas, your sisters, your friends, the kids. Like, let them use the social media like that. Everyone on this call, we should be using social media to our advantage, right? And so, with that being said, I appreciate everybody here. We'll unmute people. And if anybody has questions, or Jess, if we have any questions, like, I'm here to answer anything, and we'll take the next, couple of minutes to just start to just go through it, you know?
Thank you, Marcus. That was amazing. There was one question about the recording. We'll make it available to everyone
Yep.
on this call afterwards. So we will make sure to get that out to you on email.
Yep.
I also put links. This is a chance to promote yourself, to create that community, to connect with everyone. Drop your link in there. Let's make sure that we're all supporting and following each other.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So everyone has the ability to unmute. I'm happy to take any questions. All right, we got one from Crystal. Should we add hashtags on our posts?
I think hashtags are important. I don't think they're as important as they used to be back in the day. I think back in the day, hashtags, everything was driven in hashtags. Sometimes we used to make another comment underneath our posts with hashtags in it, right? Now a lot of social apps have limited hashtags to only five. And so I think you should pick the five. I think SEO and keywords are more important than hashtags. So sometimes I don't even use hashtags, or I just use like my branded hashtags for my company and for my thing, just so people can click and go back. But I make sure I use SEO and keywords in my content. So think about that more than anything else, not hashtags. Think about the keywords that you're using in your caption, because it's so much more important. So, yes, you're limited to five. Try to use the best five that are relatable to what you're doing, but the SEO in your caption is more important for sure. Yeah. Um, Let me just see. Yeah, I mean, we here. If you guys have any questions, if not, it's cool. If you guys want to offline some
I got a
stuff,
question. I just got a kind of a comment.
yeah, for sure.
I just want to say, man, thanks for the invite. It was very, like I got a lot of information. I think for me, my takeaway is definitely like getting out of that fear of just pitching and sliding into someone DM. Just hearing your story, your transparency about how you actually was going into the DMs, just really inspired me. And I've had plenty of people telling me to do it, but I just was so against it. And so just hearing that, it just really put like a fire under me to set a goal to do that. So it just was a lot of good information that I was able to get. So I appreciate that motivation for sure.
Absolutely. And your lane is music, right? And artistry, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, it's crazy, man. Like, I've been managing artists for over a decade, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of our opportunities came from the DMs. Like, a lot, a lot. Like, we weren't catching. I mean, we went on tour. I had an artist named because of a DM, because of a content that he posted. An artist DM'd him, and we went on a tour, and we was a support slot for an artist in a Europe tour because of the DMs. Like, it goes down in DM. I think there was like a viral moment with T-Pain, and T-Pain has this thing now. He's like, yo, check your DMs, because T-Pain has never checked his DM in like 10 years. And then one day he went to go check his DMs, and he realized like everybody was in his DMs. He was like, yo. And so like he advocates about that now. So yeah, man, there's clients and there's listeners that you're missing out on, because you can go to let's say you're a fan of Brent Fayez, right? Go to his followers, or people that follow him, or people that comment on his posts. You can go back to that person who's commenting underneath Brent Fayez post, comment on that person, be like, hey, what's up, bro? I seen you're a fan of Brent Fayez. I make music like that too. Check mine out. Send the EP, send the link to, the Spotify, things like that. Like, that's hacking social media. And you're stealing
Mhm.
that person's audience by a DM. Like, that doesn't feel weird. Like, that's what it's for, you know?
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, most definitely.
And being on the other side of it, so I've worked with the brands on the brand side. They pitch too. So as much as we're trying to connect with brands, brands are trying to connect with talent too. And there
Okay.
are messages that we've sent. I mean, I represent Don Julio, Casamigos, Rakuten that sponsors the Golden State Warriors. I mean, they have billions to drop on sports partnerships. That's their budget is billions for Rakuten, if you know what Rakuten is. And we message athletes and talent that don't respond. So they know to follow up. It's both ways, and how Marcus says to make sure that you put yourself out there, that you follow up. It takes multiple different touch points, whether it's an email, DM, LinkedIn, Facebook, tagging them, multiple chances and multiple opportunities to actually get that connect going. I mean, it's pretty rare that the first time there's an instant connect and then a partnership comes out of it, whether it's your client coming from the brand side or coming from the talent side. It takes those multiple follow-ups, and those are the ones that get the bag.
Nice.
There's a question here that I love too, right? Crystal asks, if a brand messages you, how do you know if it's real or it's fake or it's a scam? I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the biggest thing that you guys should look for. I am a beast at this. I've been a beast at this. No one's ever taught me this. I just had instinct. You should know there's key things you should know if something is fake or real, right? I was on live on TikTok and somebody asked me, like, is this real? Um, Two things. Check the email. So when you look at an email from a brand, right? This is the key giveaway. Key giveaway. Go to the email of the brand. So let's say Pepsi. If you get an email from Pepsi and Pepsi's like, oh, we're looking for, hey, Crystal, hey, Quincy, we're looking for creators, and they pitch this whole thing. They're like, oh, it's $5,000 for a reel and things like that. Stop. Two things you look at to see if this is real or fake. One, go to the email. Look at the email, the sender email, and see what that email says. If it says Jessica Pepsi at gmail.com, fake. If it says Pepsi at what, if the at isn't Pepsi, it is not real. Like I mean, I was trying to make up some examples. The example is this. If the at isn't the brand thing, there is not a brand on earth that's going to send you something from a Gmail. Oh, well, let me take that back. There are some mom pop brands that maybe will, right? And so we'll get to the later of that. But I'm thinking right now, I'm thinking of really like big brands, right? Like it's going to have the email address is going to give you the big giveaway, right? And even from the email address, look at it, man. It may say Meta, and then it's gonna be like a one or there or a two. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna look weird. Like it's going to look weird, the email address. Two, signatures are very important for me, right? I went to school for marketing and management. Signatures for me is a dead giveaway from people. Now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people don't have signatures in their emails, but it's very important. There are not too many brands that are going to send you emails and not have a qualified signature, not have a branded signature. If it looks like it's just been sent by iCloud or iMail, or it's just Tony Williams, Meta, and like, there's no way. There's just no way, right? And you got to see that. So I always say, and this is not everything, but I always say, look at the email, who it's coming from, go and then scroll down. That signature is a dead giveaway. Look at that address, at the signature of the address. You're gonna look at that address now that I'm telling y'all. Some of those addresses are dead giveaway. That thing says 12345 at runway.com. I mean, a runway. That is a fake street. It's spam. It's spam, right? So please don't click on anything. Nowadays you can screenshot that email and put it into ChatGPT and be like, yo, this is real. And ChatGPT will give you probably more of a thing. But yeah, that's a dead giveaway when you're looking at stuff. Also, too, just look at the body of the email. Like, what is it really asking? Like sometimes it's just far-fetched. Other times, I will say I can contradict myself on this. Sometimes we done seen emails and I'm like, ain't no way. And it's a oh way. This is a real deal. This is a real opportunity. And it was in your lap and in your email. So have a little bit more discernment. The more you start to talk and start to work with brands, you start to realize they all follow the same format when it comes to asking and requesting and pitching. So but yeah, does it happen all the time? 1000%.
Marcus, I just want to add to that as well. You know, working with Marcus on Majors Management Group, sometimes they have an agency that could be sending you those opportunities and reach out. So when you look at the ad or where the email is, you could look and see if it's coming from an agency or a broker or someone that's managing their socials too, because that could be a valid opportunity.
Yep. And then click, click on it. Click on it. I'll link tree. I mean, not link tree. I'll LinkedIn somebody real quick. If I get an email from a brand or for an agency, I'm going to LinkedIn. Who is this person? And it better show up there at SVP or talent partnerships or something. I go to their Instagram, like, all right, okay, woo, it's in their Instagram. It says Uggs in their Instagram. Okay, cool. This is a real person. So yeah,
We have a question from James. When
yeah.
you're posting content, should the focus be more on reels rather than just pictures, or does the content determine how you post?
I think you should. I think it is different based on each platform. Um, I have content on TikTok that has never seen Instagram a day in its life, right? And I think because of the way that I'm sorry, TikTok and Instagram, the way that the platforms are different, right? There's stuff that I post on LinkedIn that I don't post on anywhere else, right? So I think understanding how each platform, how each social app interacts and how it plays in the algorithm kind of determines, right? Obviously, when it comes to Instagram right now, they're really pushing carousels. So don't even think of like one static post. Think of carousels. Carousels right now are probably the biggest hack to Instagram. So if you have not gotten to carousels, we had to beg one of our clients to start doing carousels. She's just like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, yo, you're crazy. Carousels right now is the biggest hack right now to Instagram. If you guys do not know that. And reels. So reels and carousels are big. You can still post like one static image, but you should just combine that image with like multiple things. TikTok has always been, the content, whether it's long form or short form, but the video content. Does it allow you to post photos? Absolutely. I post photos, but I think you should sort of look at the social platform and understand like its value. YouTube right now, if you don't have long form content for YouTube, you are missing out with YouTube Shorts. I have grossed so many subscribers just because of YouTube Shorts. And some of you guys are waiting, like, oh, I don't have a long form video for YouTube. Oh, I don't have this long music video. I don't have this 3 to 5 minute thing, right? YouTube Shorts is gonna get you the subscribers that you're looking for. And honestly, we purpose the same reel, we purpose the same TikTok to YouTube Shorts. We purpose the same thing to TikTok. Sorry, to Threads, to this. Now, again, understanding how the pages work, Facebook and Instagram and Threads and Twitter, like really understanding how they are. But I think it doesn't really matter at this point. I think it's just getting content out that shows and that lives. But some social apps do hype the other one. So reels and carousels are important for Instagram right now. Obviously, videos are important for TikTok and then YouTube Shorts. Facebook has just been like a beast when it comes to content. So don't sleep on Facebook. People are making bank from Facebook. I wanted my friend to join. He's not here right now, but Jesse, he's a beast at Facebook. He showed me his Facebook wallet. That boy is eating from content right now. He just does skits. That's it, from Facebook. He don't post nowhere else. Facebook. So yeah.
Got a question from Jen. How do we learn more about usage terms such as whitelisting, organic, ad codes, etc.?
Yeah, I think that's a little bit more business savvy. I think everyone should be like uh I think you should do some research on that, right? Because it's important. And I remember I mentioned that earlier. Like a lot of times you're looking for this like break brand deal, but you can get paid from like content licensing your work. Something I used to do, there's some people on the call now that know me from doing this, is that I used to whitelist a lot of my content and I used to get paid for it. So what whitelisting is I will go and shoot the thing. Like I will go and myself go purchase the Pepsi or the Coca-Cola bottle. Then I would go take my team, my friends, and we go shoot a concept video for Pepsi or for Coca-Cola. Then that piece of content will go crazy on social media. And then I will sell that back to Coca-Cola or Pepsi and tell them to pay me to license that video that I made on my own, right? Now, are there terms? You also got to read thin lines. Sometimes there are terms like perpetuity. You want to make sure you watch that because perpetuity means they can have that forever, right? And so you may do a campaign for some piece of content that was only 1 month campaign, and then you sign papers for perpetuity, and so now you 10, 20 years in the game and you fell out of this thing, you're not even in it no more, and you see your photo come up or your video ad come up and they own it and you don't get paid from that no more. So there's a lot of like legal terms and legal business negotiation that you guys got to learn. But I think it's just doing research. I think it's just sort of like trial and error too. Like sometimes like in my true story, I have photos out there that in my early days I was doing stock photos, and some are still popping up, and I'm like, damn, they love that photo. And then sometimes you get blessed with a paycheck because of it, obviously, right? Facebook. And then sometimes you don't. But I think it's important to just keep learning and reading about that stuff. But yeah, I don't want to, we don't have to keep going too long if you guys don't have questions, or we can move this also to like, a more of a intimate conversation. If anybody wants to sort of set up some one-on-ones, or, reach out to me, reach out to Jess, reply back to the emails. But everyone here, again, I really appreciate everybody from being here. This has been an amazing first session. I'm really excited for this to grow. Anybody here who was in this first session, our next one, you will have access to it as well. So again, thank you guys again. Anybody here who knows me or want to get my contact, please shoot me a DM or shoot me a message. But yeah, and then that homework is important. I'm gonna be checking on everybody here. I know all y'all faces. I know everybody's accounts, even the people that left already. I know y'all. I'm gonna be checking to see if that bio has changed. I'm gonna be checking to see if there's a post pinned. I'm gonna be checking to see have you made some more better content. So I appreciate you guys. If you have any questions that you want to take off this, please feel free to reach out to me or Jess. And that's it. And again, just thank you guys for joining today.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Marcus. And we will be following up with everyone. As mentioned, we will be having these as monthly calls. We'll be bringing in guest speakers talking about specific topics. So keep an eye out for your emails from the Majors Management Group. We put our social tags in there. We'll be posting the upcoming webinar series. So thank you all. Have a great evening.
Y'all too.
Take care,
Appreciate it.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.